When you look inside, you'll see "Welcome to Studio Sound," and there is no exaggeration here. Both smallest Focusrite Scarlett interfaces has only one stereo output, so two outputs, left and right, but the second one has two microphone preamps. And if you look closer, you'll see here that there is also another line or instrument input here, phantom switch, and you can also use the direct function here. Headphone output has its own knob, same here, but also we have some additional functions here I'll talk about a little bit later. Both interfaces has premium feel and premium look to it. This one has encoders and this one has like regular knobs, but both are top class. This is metal and you know, it just feels very good. It has a very nice resistance to it and it just feels very well. Both interfaces, starting with the smallest one, have RedNet converters, DA converters built in, 120 decibels of dynamics, and also the headphone preamps are very high class and very high power, 160 decibels of dynamics, 116, 115. The only big difference is regarding this mic preamp. This one has 57 decibels of gain, and this has 69, and these have 69 decibels of gain, so it's just overkill for Shure SM7B, I think, and this one should be just enough. Once you connect the interface via USB, you'll see it as an external drive, so you just have to click the right link and install the software. The first time you launch Focusrite Control 2, you can update the firmware. So first thing I did, I listened to those converters. So DA, RedNet DA converters, and they sound really great. I think they sound a little bit more attractive to my ear than the RME Babyface Pro converters. The sound is a little bit more open, a little bit brighter, and the bass seems just to have this kind of transistor rounding, I would say, but of course it's very flat. If you look at the response, it's flat, so these are nuances, but they sound really good. The sound is dynamic, open, and very detailed. It's almost as good as Claret Plus. I am a big fan of Claret Plus. I almost chose Claret Plus as my main converter, but since I'm recording lots of tutorials, I needed a loopback function that it didn't implement the way I wanted, so I landed with Antelope Audio, which is super great. But testing this small Focusrite, you know, makes me wonder that it really, you know, the evolution is quite huge, because this baby sounds really, really good. This headphone amp is very loud and has a very musical sound. It is enough detailed for professional work, and you can drive high impedance headphones with it. No problem with driving my Sennheisers or DT 770 250 ohm version, and also the dynamics is very good. If you have high-end headphones like DT 1990 or 1770, then maybe you could go for Claret Plus, which has even better and louder headphone amp, but this one is really good. This is something that most interface producers, manufacturers cut costs on, but this one is really good. I connected Focusrite Scarlett to my laptop and I launched Machina. It's quite a demanding project, lots of effects used on groups and on different... Everything is working in real time, and the lowest value I could achieve was 64, which means the round-trip latency is about 8 milliseconds and the latency on the outputs is about 4 milliseconds. So it's really good for playing live. So this is the lowest value, and with the 128 there are no dropouts whatsoever. I also checked other interfaces, Antelope Audio and RME, and the performance is on par with those interfaces. Theoretically, if you set a buffer like 128 on other interfaces, you'll get twice lower latency in milliseconds, but the truth is, in order for the interface to work in a stable, you would have to set much higher buffer size in RME or discrete 8. So it's more or less the same, I would say, in terms of stability. The truth is, look at the CPU meter, it's almost peaking. So it's always the CPU that is responsible for any dropouts and not the interface. Time to check microphone preamps. I connected Audio-Technica AT4040 to the bigger model 2i2. So this is how my voice sound recorded through Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. I think it sounds very clear. I am very satisfied with the way it sounds. I think it's professional quality. I could use it for professional voiceovers, for rap recordings or for vocals, no problem whatsoever. But the big advantage of this particular line was always the air mode, and here it is redesigned and now it has two modes. Let me show you. The basic one. So this is air mode. Now my voice sounds a little bit brighter, a little bit more exciting, and I think it's great because I don't need to EQ it. It's just almost ready. And now I also have this air and this presence and drive mode. So this is even stronger. I think it's a little bit too much for this particular microphone, but I think it might sound good with less bright dynamic microphones. So with this microphone, I will prefer to use the standard air mode, and I think it sounds really good. There are also two new features available in 2i2 and probably bigger models. It's called Safe and Auto. Safe mode lets you Safe mode just sets the auto gain automatically, and if I shout, it will be lowered. Woo! And now, as you can see, there was no distortion, and the level of my recordings of the gain level was lowered. And I can also use auto mode and speak to the microphone, and it will be set automatically. So now I'm speaking to the microphone. You probably won't hearing, you can't hear me, but I have to do something. I have to speak 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So so the level can be set automatically. And now I am on the safe side because the software just set the levels so that it will be probably not be distorted, not be overloaded, and the signal to noise ratio should be just perfect. So comparing Scarlett Solo to Scarlett 2e2, you can see that 2i2 has additionally auto and safe mode, and it also has a select button, so you can switch phantom power on the first or on the second input, and it also has stereo direct monitoring because it makes sense here and it wouldn't make sense here with just one instrumental input and one microphone input at the back. And last but not least, you're also getting huge amount of software. Look, here there are some DAWs you're getting, some audio plugins, instruments, and also you're getting Splice subscription, I think 3 months, and then Loopmasters 3 GB, and very soon there should be 30 sound packs, anniversary sound packs from Novation, so it looks all very, very exciting. So advantages: little, beautifully designed interface with huge dynamics. I think you can compare it to Audient Evo or even RME Babyface Pro. It even has better specification. Also, very strong and clear headphone output, and it will handle, very high impedance headphones. Very good mic pre's and very high gain on mic pre's, but not in the solo version, in 2i2 and probably onwards. And basically that's it. Hard to tell any disadvantages. It all works very well. It's stable. Lots of software included. So you just have to compare the prices and make your decision.